Hey guys, welcome back to the bait shop. Today I've got a couple of personal lures that I need to redo the skirts on because I left them sit outside and the skirts with the rubber bands melted off this summer. So we're going to cut the rubber band out of there. We're going to redo the spinnerbait. What we're going to do, just like we do with our jigs, is make a collar. This is a bit more difficult because we've got the blades and things in our way, but just the same, we're going to wrap this all the way around. And I think today, this was just white and blue. I think today I'm going to do Sexy Shad on it, and that way I will have a Sexy Shad spinner for the spring. So to do Sexy Shad, we're going to need one white or pearl white, or this one I believe is Glimmer Blue Satin Shad. We will need one of the blue black Dalmatian that we used in the black and blue jigs. And then we will also need something I don't have much of anymore. What I started out buying was this spinnerbait tournament skirt kit from Lure Parts Online. Started buying from them, and I only have one chartreuse left, so I will be needing to replace my chartreuse. But we're going to take the chartreuse and split it right in half. The Sexy Shad pattern is one of the few patterns that gets, actually we're going to split it down into fourths. It gets more than 2 tabs of skirting material. And that's only because it's a 3-color bait. So we have half a tab of yellow that we've cut in half again. Our whole tab of blue and our whole tab of white. And just like we do with the jigs, we're going to go dark on the back, because fish are typically darker on their back. We're going to do a couple rounds with that, and then we're just going to drape that over top of our spinnerbait there, the head of that. And then what we'll do is rotate, quarter turn, and lay our chartreuse on the side here, and lock it in place with a couple of wraps. Open it back up. Then give it a spin tortoise again. And lock it in. Put the other chartreuse in. Make sure that chartreuse is right along the side there. Lock it in. And then what we'll do is take and spin it all the way around. Put that in just like that. And then we take our blue shimmer shad and place it right along the back there. And lock it down in place. And then we take our clips and everything gets clipped to the front and everything gets clipped to the back. And then we just wrap like normal. And if you want to clip these out of the way, I do have a hair clip here that I can clip it out of the way so it's not in the way while I'm wrapping. That's why I typically have 3 on this vise. And no, these lures, this lure here and the lure that I do in the next video will not be up for sale. These are personal lures that I have that I just needed to redo the skirts on. And this is just showing that if you have a bait that's lost its skirt, you don't have to throw that bait away. You can tie a new skirt on it and not have to go spend whatever it is that you spend on your lures if they've got the rubber bands on them. And this one did have a rubber band. This is why I don't really care for the rubber bands. I prefer my lures to be tied, but I will buy lures that have them because I know when that does eventually come off, fall off, get pulled off by a fish, whatever you may have happened there. There we go. Then you don't have to worry about, well, this bait's no good now, I gotta throw it away. You could buy the skirting kit that will come with the Tournament Series jig and spinner skirt kits. I typically don't use those. If I do use a rubber band on a bait, it's to help the underskirt poof. I don't know of another better way to say that. I want it to kick it out more. So we'll take and, same as the jigs, liberally apply our super glue and then take our accelerants cap that again, And we spin it back around here. Take the hair clips off. Don't need that one hanging around anymore. And this one is broke for a reason. I use this more on buzz baits than I do spinner baits because I can clip onto the wire. I will use it on spinner baits, but I don't absolutely have to. And then, like with the jigs, again, we go through and just clip everything one at a time. Make sure that it all has a fairly decent length. And then when I'm done with this lure, since it's a personal lure, I will show you how I trim my lures when I'm making for myself. How I like to have them trimmed down and have the length that I like. Get this last chartreuse here. All right, we'll take this out of the vise now. And you see how it's not all one length. I kind of like it that way, but the bottom here is just a bit longer than what I like. So we'll trim it just beyond the hook. I want the hook to be completely concealed, but have it just beyond the hook. And that's the sexy shad. These will eventually be available in spinner baits and buzz baits, things like that. But again, like I said, these are some personal baits that I left them outside in the summertime. They got sun damage to the rubber bands, and so I had to retie the rubber band, or the skirts, since they got ruined. Well, I hope that helps you guys in not only building a lure arsenal, but being able to make your lures last longer if you buy the store brand lures. That's it for this video, guys. And remember, try not to be boring.